what Joe has talked about his success.
And can you just say your name?
Okay, I'm Jim Davis. I'm the Executive Director for Highfield Center for Composting. The grant we received is really to provide technical services and assistance to farmers, chicken farmers, dairy farmers, and schools in developing compost systems and dealing with food scrap recycling. The importance of the grant, and I can't say that enough, is currently we're working with 12 compost site operators and chicken farmers and 3 schools. And their growth is going to be enormous in what we do and provide for technical services. Most farmers, especially dairy farmers, have to be dairy farmers, and they don't have the time to learn and how to develop and design compost systems. But it's an integrated tool for them. And today I want to share some of the successes and some of the insights we've learned so far halfway through this program. First off, we were able to match $30,000 towards this grant, $55,000 towards additional services, which has also given us 12 additional projects that we're doing as test pilot projects for farmers. We're testing ideas that we can bring and replicate down the road. I want to talk about project leveraging. Those 10 additional pilot projects also leverage other work we've done in the past, including screening systems for compost and that we can bring online. Job creation. This is the piece that I think is really important in this talk today. We currently have already created, through this work, 4 current jobs, and I want to share who they are and what they're doing. We actually were able to, at Highfield, to bring on a marketing manager because of this grant. That's a high-level position. We know that a particular partner of ours is an organics facility, hired a facility manager, full-time, before they even started composting. They're just getting started. Another partner of ours has also, because of this work and the work we're involved in, has hired a vice president of sales. And then another farm happily have gone full-time with the farm staff. So we've already created 4 jobs without anything being completed yet, just in the initial stage. We project 8 to 10 jobs for some of these projects at the course of this in the next 6 months. And I want to talk about 3 particular projects that we're working on, just to give you a flavor since there's so many. One of them is Kingdom View Compost in Lindenville. For those of you who don't know it, Kathy and Eric Paris own the farm. They're a dairy farm. They're milking roughly about 50-55 head of cattle, dairy cattle. And because of their composting facility that they created with us and we've worked with them on, they realized there was a market opportunity. And that market opportunity was 2 things. Selling compost, not only to prove their soil, but to sell for the farm for revenues, but tipping fees that they get for receiving food scraps. So they've decided to expand their farm and their compost facility. They're adding 25 more dairy head to their cattle for this coming fall, and they're expanding their facility to go from 8 tons a week to 16 tons. And we have lined up a particular organization or company in the Northeast Kingdom that's producing 10 tons of food scrap waste weekly right now that's going to the Coventry landfill. We expect them to increase their business portfolio and compost and tipping fees being 10 to 20% of the revenue every year. That's what they're looking at from a business. It also moved them into a position where they're actually buying and have bought, from my understanding, a local organic farm in Lindenville. Another organization is TAM Organics, which is actually a subsidiary of TAM Incorporated, which is our waste hauler out of Bennington. Trevor Mans and I have been talking over the last 9 months. He's been working with Highfields for over the last 2 years. He has a facility for composting down in Shasbury, in which he can handle anywhere from 50 to 100 tons a week when it gets up and going. We're currently developing them up to be 10 to 20 tons and working with major grocery stores, Hannaford's, Price Chopper. If they come online, he will be at capacity for the development that we're doing right now, and we'll have to hire 3 to 5 people to manage that compost and to sell that compost in the marketplace. He's looking at that as being a critical piece to his business plan. Not only does he waste haul, he believes in organic recycling, and the tipping fees and the compost sales will help his business along the way. And then on the other side of this process, which is really critical, are the smaller farmers we're working with. We are working with a farm out of Coventry, the Coventry region, which is Appledge Farm. It's a small, little, diverse farm that's selling chicken eggs, chicken meat, rabbit meat, etc. And they approached us about wanting to do compost and also to use organics as a way to feed their chickens and to reduce their actual feed costs by 60%. We're in the final stages, and they're going to be coming online in about 2 months. in doing this, and that'll have a tremendous impact, but yet we'll give them a diversity in their product line. And that's the kind of work that is going on with this type of funding. And as my last point, I think the key to this whole funding is our ability as organizations, as you heard from Joe, is the ability to leverage other funds, both private and other organizations that want to support the work that you're supporting today. I thank you for letting me speak. Thank you.